Hey everyone, Ben Coomber Radio, episode number 171. Hopefully that is correct. I know I'm not the best at that. I have got the ever lovely Rachel back in the house. Christmas has blown over. This show's going live on the 7th of January. You'll all be back to normality. The whole Christmas thing would have blown over and we all would have been going, whew, did that just happen?
Happy New Year!
Yeah, Happy New Year. Don't you find, like, that's the thing with sometimes amazing things, like something really cool happens, like my Christmas was amazing, I had loads of family stuff, did loads of activities, really cool, and then you kind of, as soon as you get back to work, it kind of like, you kind of pinch yourself and you're like, did that happen? It's like when you come back from a holiday and people are like, so how was your holiday? And it's already been a week, and then you're like, fuck, did I just go on holiday? Oh well, yeah, I went on holiday, yeah, it was really nice, thanks.
Just on that note, like, this is a common thing that I hear when people come back from holiday. They say, oh yeah, I had a great holiday. Oh, but the flights were delayed. We had this happen. But yeah, I had a really good holiday. Why the fuck can't you just say, you know what? I had a really good holiday and it was amazing. Like, why do you have to tarnish it with negative? And people do this in their life every single day. And I know, like, towards the end of 2015, we tend to switch a little bit more to mindset on a podcast. And, like, let's think about this in 2016, particularly in this podcast today. When somebody asks you how you are, say, oh, hi, how are you? Tell them that you're fabulous. Tell them that you're amazing. Say, like, I'm really well. Like, why do people say, oh, I'm not bad? Well, not bad means you're not good. And therefore, you're already starting the conversation in a negative tone of voice. So next time somebody asks you how you are, tell them that you're unstoppable. Tell them that you're amazing. Tell them that you're really good. Tell them that, yeah, great, things are going well. Because it's funny how the conversation takes place after that. When you say to somebody, you know what, I'm great. Like, things are going really well. Like, it's a really nice thing to hear somebody else say, and it really sets the conversation off on a good tone.
But I suppose people don't do that because they then want to engage in some conversation where it's all about them and life's treated them badly and what's up kind of thing, which is fine if you're meeting up with a nice friend. Like, if I was meeting up with Rachel and she said, how are you? And I said, actually, Rachel, it's been a bit of a rough month. And we then might talk and she'd help me, but that's being a friend. But when you're not really around kind of like those deep friends, yeah, you do have to think about what you say and how that then feeds on. And also, it's a reflection of you. Like, if people have a nice, positive energy all the time, you're that person that people want to be around. Oh, I don't want to speak to her. She's the one that's always miserable and life's falling down around her. Yawn.
Exactly. And it's like these people, it's like, you go into a coffee shop, you meet a distant acquaintance and, they say, oh, how's things? And well, things are pretty shit at the moment. It's like putting that shit all over Facebook, like, you don't display your deepest, darkest things on Facebook. It's just attention seeking. Same with, like, posting all this shit about your relationship on Facebook and, about how you might live with somebody and you're telling them on their Facebook wall, oh, you're the love of my life and this, that and the other. Well, that's great. Well, they're probably sat next to you on a couch. Why don't you tell them face to face? Anyway, I digress. Should we answer some questions?
Yeah. See, this episode is going to be a little bit different. This episode is very much talking about our industry, how people get into it, the courses that you can do, what being a personal trainer is like, changing career. Now, I know people have been on quite a journey with this podcast. We're 171 episodes in now. People have already changed profession. They've been inspired by the podcast and go, do you know what? I want to move into health and fitness. I want to do similar things. And that is amazing. So hopefully we've got two key questions from people today. And hopefully those questions will look at what you can do in the fitness industry, why, courses, how you've been inspired by health and fitness. So if you're sitting there thinking you're going to get some nuts and bolts on health and fitness, you're not today. It's not going to be that kind of show. We are going to talk very much about the industry that we're in, the passion that we have for it, and how you could maybe become a part of it and in what way. Because I suppose, as we've said, the podcast is evolving, and if people want the opportunity to be able to delve more into our world, which we are, knowledgeable in, and if we can help facilitate that, then we can help build a bigger picture and a better fitness industry by bringing the right kind of people into it.
Awesome. Well, this question is from Elliot. Hi Ben and Rachel, I've been listening to you guys natter away on air for quite some while now, and you wouldn't believe to the extent to which I've benefited from the knowledge that you guys have been so willing to share with the world. Nutrition, body composition, rugby, mindset, and of course the banter in between all resonate deeply with me. I'm really so lucky that personally I've never had a problem with motivational challenging myself as of yet. The result of which has led me to wave goodbye to British higher education and move to China to pursue my undergraduate studies. I'm not going to pretend this has been an easy ride. I've had some of the lowest, toughest and loneliest times of my life here, but you guys have definitely helped me through that in one way or another, and for that I am very grateful. Anyway, sport and nutrition have been a very important part of my life for a long time now, and I'm now completely settled on turning it into my career. The thing is, I'm still based in China until I graduate. A year and a half to go. But I want to get the ball rolling and start gaining some fitness, training and nutrition qualifications. I know the logical answer to this would be to start doing Chinese qualifications, and this will of course be something I begin to pursue after I graduate. Nevertheless, the fitness industry here is essentially founded on the principle that anything hailing from abroad is good, hence why I think getting Western qualifications is advantageous at this stage of the game. What I really want to know is what can be said for online qualifications, and are they worth doing in your opinion? Assuming they are worth doing, is there an international or gold standard for such qualifications? Given the difference in life experience and experiences in your industry, if you were in my position, what would you do? What would you do, Ben and Rachel? And lastly, are there any qualifications worth doing in London or Sydney, which I could bang out in a month or two? Because of family reasons, I'm in London during the summer and Sydney in the winter, which coincidentally in Australia is summertime. Win. Cheers, guys. Elliot.
Wow, so this is cool, and Rachel's internet or someone's internet went a bit bad in the middle, and I kind of lost the fact that, you know, this guy, Elliot, is in China until he graduates, and he wants to get the ball rolling now. We kind of missed that with the bad internet. So one thing that I kind of missed and doesn't really seem to be in here, Rachel, correct me if I'm wrong, is it doesn't actually say how he wants to get into the industry. He just wants to get into the fitness industry. So what we can do is we can, I suppose, really talk about a couple of hypothetical situations about where you can move into the fitness industry. Now, the fitness industry is a big place for a start. Like, you can be a PT. You can just look at someone's movement. You can be a physio. You can be, you know, some kind of biomechanics coach. You can look just at pain and injury from a different angle. You can look at nutrition. You can look at kind of mindset. You can look at sports team coaching. You can look at loads of stuff. You can work with kids. You can work in schools. You can work for more of an official organisation. There are lots of areas that you can go into. Now, either way, you're going to have to be qualified to a degree to move over into the industry. And of course, where you want to slot into the industry will, you know, determine your path. Like Rachel went to Australia, she did physiotherapy. If you want to be a physio, you're going to have to dedicate a good 3 to 4 years to university style learning. That is a given. That's how you need to do it. You need that level of qualification. You need that level of study. If you want to go into the industry as a PT, if you feel you know a lot about fitness and nutrition, sometimes it's a case of just getting the tick boxes, getting the kind of official stuff. So how to treat clients well, paperwork, logistics, building a program, all that kind of stuff. You kind of need to just sort of understand that, and you're kind of away and you can start to help clients. So, Rachel, in terms of courses that are in Sydney, I mean, I don't know. You used to live there. What kind of companies are doing great things across the board? So let's go right from, rehab, physio to fitness to nutrition. What people are doing good things in Australia?
Well, this is a fully loaded question. I mean, I guess the thing here is that I have to answer with a very neutral response, and that is that if I was in Elliot's position, if I was in Elliot's shoes, I would look to do just a a basic Cert 3, Cert 4 in fitness qualification. I redid mine many years ago with the Australian Institute of Fitness, and there are so many more now that are, and actually none that spring to mind. I know that I've got a couple of friends who are just putting together registered training organisations now that do Cert 3 and Cert 4. I'd have to do some research on those, and I probably have to put a shout out on Facebook to find out who those people are, because you get so much information coming your way. I can't actually recall who they are at the moment. But the Australian Institute of Fitness is one of the biggest RTOs, or registered training organisations, in Australia. There are others coming up now, and like I said, there are some private ones as well. And the private ones would be of a better quality, generally speaking. My advice would be to get your Cert 3 and your Cert 4 in fitness, and actually get yourself certified. I think that's the first place to start. And then after that, then I would seek out courses in your areas of interest, which will be private courses, in your area of interest, in which case that's where you want to upskill and also find yourself a mentor. So an example with let's take strength training, for example. I know Mark Buckley runs FMA strength training. Awesome course. It's the fundamentals of basic strength training. I know that Australian strength coach, Sebastian Oreb, he runs a lot to do with powerlifting. Clean Health Fitness Institute, they run post grad studies. They've got some great courses going on. I know you've got some guys down in Melbourne as well doing it. There are a lot of trainers out there now who've been in the industry a very long time, 10, 15 years plus, who are providing education to other trainers. So that's certainly somewhere where I would start to look at if you're looking at strength training. In terms of rehab, again, FMA strength training has got rehabilitation modules. It's an excellent place to start, to actually get your strength training correct in the first place, because obviously that's a big part of rehab. Back in the day, I know, Ben, you and I did the Czech stuff. Again, like the Czech Institute was awesome for basic rehab. I don't even know if that's still going on anymore, if I'm honest. There are some physios now who also work hand in hand with trainers, particularly down in Australia. A lot of physios are getting more into the fitness industry. Off the top of my head, that's it off the top of my head. I'd have to, I'd really have to do some research and to find out, I guess, who's running what courses now. And obviously, there's new trainers running different courses every year. And I guess, we've talked about this on a podcast previously. The best way to find out is to follow, leaders in the fitness industry and leaders in these different areas and find out what education they're providing.
See, every transition, career-wise or any path, needs to start almost with the end point. So if I said to myself, I want to go and work in pro sport, my dream would be to work in Manchester United Football Club as a sports nutritionist. Now, on paper, you need to identify what qualifications get you even in the door, and then what level of experience is gonna push you there. So you need to look at that pathway of education. If you just want to be a PT in a gym, then you need the reps level 3 to get you insured, to get your knowledge up to scratch, and to get yourself in the door of a gym. Really, beyond that, you don't really need anything much more than a reps level 3, because the turnover of personal trainers in gyms is huge. There's PTs coming in and out of the industry all the time, which is obviously a problem. And it was a problem I want to try and help solve in a way, because I want to inspire people with their learning. So I find a lot of PTs go into the industry, they're interested in PT, they're interested in fitness, but have never genuinely deep down been inspired about how far they could learn, how far they could develop themselves, and how far they could actually help other people. And it's that level of inspiration I want to try and get into personal trainers' heads. My advice, look, if you're going to work in China, you need to understand what the Chinese industry needs from you. If you are saying to yourself, well, maybe I'll do my thing in China for 3 or 4 years and I'll move back to the UK, it might be hard to translate the Chinese qualification back into a UK qualification and have that recognised. So it might be that you come over to the UK, you do a 4-6 week PT course, and then you're able to go and use that in China. And if you do decide to come back, then you can use that qualification. Now, I've always said, you get your benchmark, which Rachel said, do your level 3, maybe do your level 4, and then go and find the most intelligent people in the industry to learn off. And online courses, yes, are brilliant, but you do have to consider your own learning style. If you're not good and self-motivated to sit down, listen to a webinar, read through some notes, analyse some research, and apply that into the real world, then you might really struggle with a course of that nature, because that is what an online course is, or especially that is what my online course is, the Body Type Nutrition Academy, and similar things that Rachel does. It's a webinar, it's notes, it's go away, it's research, it's apply. You do have to be self-driven to do it. If you need to go into a room and have that person talk to you and have that style of delivery of information, then you need to find obviously various courses. But the reason why people create online courses is because they can create something that anyone in the world can access. You know, on the BTN Academy, we have people in Australia, Mexico, Norway, just everywhere. So, I mean, in my opinion, what would be the best courses that are done online? If you're looking at a nutrition course, my Body Type Nutrition Academy, I think, is the #1 nutrition course currently, just purely from the way we deliver it and how interactive it is. If you want to find more about the BTN Academy, you can text 67076 if you're in the UK. Just text the word Academy and we'll send you some cool information. You're in China, so log on to bodytypenutrition.co.uk and have a route about on the Academy page. Brendan Chaplin does a very good S&C course online. Rachel's mentioned that Mark Buckley does one as well. British Military Fitness do a level 2, level 3, level 4 PT course. The level 4 is a speciality in strength and conditioning. Big fan of Rachel France's work, Biomechanics Education. If you want to learn more about the biomechanics side of things, that is hands-on learning. No, that is not online. Brendan's course is online. BMF's course is a combination of in-person learning and off-site learning. And I think that's everything off the top of my head. Big fan of Jordan Fitness's, some of their short courses, little stuff. Big fan of Andy McKenzie's kind of body weight and core based training. Second to none, that stuff for me. I think that's exhausted my list of the people that I tend to recommend who are doing great things. Tumbleweed. Rachel, you still there? Rachel? Rachel?
I think I've lost you.
Oh no.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. Can you hear me now?
Like Andy McKen.
That is the thing with the internet. Sometimes things go a little bit wrong. And that's with... it goes the same that I don't really have a massive desire to go away and edit out that 10 seconds of bleh, 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 bleh. So I'll keep it in, and people have already muscled through it because they're now listening to us doing what we're doing, trying to make up for it. So yeah.
Sorry, so the bit I got was Andy McKenzie, and then he froze.
Yeah, and then I pretty much wrapped up to say that they're my people that I would recommend to learn from. And I think with, Rachel mentioned about leadership and following people that you love and stuff. You've got to just, like, if you follow my work, for example, you're listening to me and Rachel on the podcast right now, and if you find trust in us, like, if you look at Rachel and go, look, I trust her work, I trust her fat loss programs, I trust her blueprint, I trust what she says, then investing in Rachel is a good option, because the chances are you're going to resonate with her work, you're going to resonate with how she do things, her belief. Same with me. If you trust in my ability with nutrition, if you trust that I would put together a good course, if you trust in me as a credible and honest person in the industry, then it would be wise to trust in my course. You would probably resonate with the content, how it's delivered, etc. If you don't trust in my work, but you trust in the next guys, whoever that might be, then that is a better option for you. You're going to have better peace in mind that you've invested in the right thing. And you do need to do your research, because you are investing good money in courses. Like, my course is over 12 to 14 months, and you're going to invest £95 a month plus VAT, which actually is an incredibly well-priced course for what you're getting delivered, but it's still an investment, and you have to be really happy that you're making the right investment. If you go and buy one of Rachel's programs, you have to be happy that you're going to get what you feel you want out of that program. You have to be happy with that investment. So you've got to do your research. But likelihood is, if you trust these people, they're going to be putting together good stuff. And like, if you trust me, then the chances are I've put together a great nutrition course. Anyway, I think we've burnt that one.
On the other side of that as well, with online courses, you can purchase a course, but again, like going back to the previous podcast that we did, do the work. Quite often, like you see people who get really excited, they buy a course, they'll do the first couple of days, and then shit gets hard, and people aren't prepared to work through the hard shit. But this is where the forums are available. Tell us that it gets hard, and that's where you basically seek support, and you will find it. So do the work too, and we've got structured things, and like I said, like Ben said, if it's not him, and if it's me, if it's not me, it's somebody else. But be prepared to do the work and ask for help, and you should receive help if you ask for it.
Mm-hmm.
Next question. So this question is from Kat. Hello, Ben and Rachel. I'm still amazed at how wonderfully generous you both are with your time and sharing knowledge and advice. I look forward to Thursdays when I get to listen to the latest podcasts. You're both huge inspirations, especially in an industry that can often make us feel inadequate because we don't have razor-sharp abs or protein pancake stacked breakfast that looks like it came straight out of a recipe book. Shoot. Love that. As great as social media is, it does lead us to some dark places in believing that we are not good enough because people are only into posting the best bits. Since listening to your podcasts, I stumbled across them back in July 2015. The thing that has really resonated with me most is being happy. I was always a glass empty or not even half full kind of girl until I was very ill with a suspected brain tumour, which actually turned out to be a rotten wisdom tooth that 3 dentists overlooked. But nevertheless, an important lesson was learned, of which negative situations were spiralling out of control. I read an amazing book by Gabrielle Bernstein called Spirit Junkie, and then another by Louise Hay, How to Heal Your Life, and I realised that I was the problem. So now, I use the power of positivity, and although I still get into shit situations, I can deal with them with the glass full to the brim. However, the one element of my life that does not bring me joy is my work. I'm a freelance marketer, and I no longer have a passion or an interest in what I do. I'm lucky enough to be well paid, but this in itself does not bring me contentment. I've been a gym goer for the past 7 years now, and I love fitness and nutrition. However, having now turned 30, I really want to retrain as a PT. I spend more time than is perhaps healthy researching and reading articles on both health and fitness. However, my full glass starts to leak because I'm petrified of making a leap and leaving a well-paid job for the unknown. Feel the fear and do it anyway, is what my dad keeps telling me. The reasons for which I'm worried are, I'm a vegan. A lot of people don't like that. I don't expect anyone to take on my way of life, but for me, my body works best on a plant-based diet. I have IBS, and meat, eggs, and dairy really upset me. I have only changed this in the past year, but my body thrives on it. My weights are as heavy as they were when I was a meat eater. I worry, though, that this would put people off. I don't have the best body. I am happy in the skin that I'm in. I'm not a size 8, but a size 12. I'm 5'8" with a large bust, not my choice, but nature's, and I carry a bit of extra fat, and I always have done. After years of dieting, I now focus on my health and what my body can achieve. I'm proud that I can go for a run, walk the dog, bike to and from work, and do a weight session and still have loads of energy. Going vegan has meant I am learning what does and does not work for me all over again. So the fact that I'm not in perfect shape might put off potential clients. I worry the industry is becoming saturated. I hope that my point of difference is my eagerness to learn and learn and learn. The PTs in my gym are terribly uninspiring. They do it because it's a job. I want to do it because I want to help people love the skin that they are in, and I want to look after and nourish it and make them see that our bodies are designed to move and to be functional. I'm based in Norfolk, 20 miles from Norwich, and I worry that there might not be enough work in this area. Any words of advice would be greatly appreciated. Despite being mostly positive, I also have the jitters on this. I've looked into courses and have a very supportive partner who says it would be great. Of course he would. if I did it. And I would love to do your course as well, Ben. Carry on with the great work. Without the podcast, I've not got this far into rethinking my career. Thank you, Kat.
Now, as Rachel read through that, I actually made quite a lot of notes. And
I wanted to make notes. Here's the thing, I wanted to make notes. I've actually got my pig pen and I'm like scribbling things that I want to comment on. So you go first.
So I found it quite fascinating from the fact that, and me and Rachel talked about this a lot actually before we went on air with the show. So I know Rachel's going to have a lot to say about this. Now for me, Kat, you've just started your journey in looking at your words and your mindset and why you do things and what you want to change. And for me, you're only starting to scratch the surface. You've got a lot more work to do in how you visualize your current situation, your path, and the way you think and speak to yourself. So as I went through, I made all the notes that a lot of your question contradicts itself. So you're in a job that's currently well paid, but money is important to you. But you're currently scared of leaving a well paid job and not having that money for the unknown. So money is now important to you, and now you've got to ask yourself why. Why is it important to you? Is it just a lifestyle? Have you got an expensive mortgage? Is it just actually you're not 100% sure whether you do want to go into the PT world? There's a lot of questions for me that are unanswered there because, like, for example, every time someone leaps up the career ladder and adds more income, you just add more things to your life. Like when I was earning £12,000 a year, I didn't go out as much. I couldn't buy as many clothes. I was still happy. I just couldn't buy as many materialistic things, live in a nicer house, drive a nicer car. And as soon as my income escalated, I bought a nicer car, I bought a house, I bought nicer things, I'm able to buy clothes, that kind of thing. Does that mean I couldn't go back to living at 12 grand a year? No, of course I could. It would just take an awful lot of readjustment. I'd probably find it a little bit annoying at first that I couldn't buy all those things. But I could easily scale back if I had the mindset that money isn't important, the things and what I do around me are important. And then you talk about not being in great shape yourself. Well, for a start, you're a size 12. Many millions of women would happily trade in their physique for a size 12. Mentally, that's how they view themselves. But you just want to teach people to look after and nourish the body that they're in. So you love your body right now. You're a size 12. You don't see yourself as perfect. Many other people don't see themselves as perfect. But all you want to do is help people get to that place. So you don't need to look like you could be on the cover of Men's Health because you don't want to teach people to look like they want to be on the cover of Men's Health. You want to be a happy size 12 that can run around and do loads of cool stuff and teach people how to do exactly that. You'll be amazed at how many PTs are more... You'll be amazed at how many more PTs are successful because they don't look ripped. Ripped, jacked PTs or really fit people can be intimidating. People do look at you and go, oh, he must know what he's talking about, he's ripped. But you're almost scared to talk to him because the way that they look is intimidating. I know that Rachel will be intimidating to some people because she's very pretty. She's very pretty, has a very beautiful physique, whereas I'm a lot more approachable because I've got a face for radio. That's why I've got a radio show.
But you've got a good hairstyle.
Johnny Bravo taught me that.
And you look good with your shirt off.
But you've got to think of these things. People are scared about that side of the industry. You've just told us that you like us because we're not those perfect type of people. We're not posting our abs on Instagram. We're not posting a plate of protein pancakes on Instagram. You like that. You like that about me and Rachel. So other people are going to like that about you. So I think there's an awful lot of what you're saying that doesn't add up. And I think as you continue to go down the rabbit hole of mindset and how our words that we say to ourselves and how our brain thinks affect everything, you'll start to understand where your answers are.
Look, I'm just going to pretty much second everything you said and add a few other points as well. Look, there's no lie. The fitness industry is a hard industry. It is hard. And it's not as glamorous as people think it is. It's not living the dream as people think it is. But it's what we absolutely love to do. And it's totally the passion that we have. And we utterly love what we do. And so therefore, no industry is a cruisy industry. And if you're looking for a a basket weaving career, then the fitness industry is not it. It is hard work. It's extremely competitive. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is very competitive, but then there's long hours as well. And if money is important to you, then yeah, you know what, you're going to start at a basic wage, and you have to climb the ladder to move up from there. So I mean, that's the reality of things. So
Rachel, before you carry on, I'd actually like to counter argue that. And I'd like to counter argue that in the way that I think if we looked at, let's take a fitness first gym right now. A lot of the PTs that come into that will fall into the trap that you're currently describing. They'll work all the hours in the morning, they'll train themselves, they'll do client programs, they'll train in the evening, because that's where the industry is currently at in terms of building their lifestyle. Now, I think that you and me know lots of people actually that are working 5 to 6 hours a day, have great businesses, have streamlined their systems, know how to deal with clients in the right way, know how to market themselves, and are actually built personal training around the life that they want to lead, working 5, 6, 7, 8 hours a day, not running around, because they've actually invested time in the processes, the way to do things, the marketing, the angle, which I think is very doable, because most PTs come into the industry and look at just the knowledge and the PT side of things. But in theory, Kat should be ahead of you and me because she's a marketer.
Exactly, and that's one of the things I was going to say is it is a hard industry in doing those long hours, because let's be honest here, in the beginning when you're picking up clients, you have to do those long hours. It's usually, it could be 3 months, it could be 6 months, it could take a year. But ultimately, that's where we need to get to. And Kat being a marketer, yeah, you know what? She's probably going to get there a lot faster than anybody else. And here's the thing with PT. I think it's still quite a small, like people think of, oh, well, I just have to train clients, and I have to train 10 clients a day to make money. No, you don't. There's so many other things that you can do in the industry as well. As we were just saying, get an automated system in place, take on some online clients, start doing seminars, start doing other things. And one of the things that I was going to say for Kat is, not everybody wants to be a fitness model. And in fact, I saw an ad the other day. It was on Christmas Day. It was a video ad that had been, someone has obviously targeted me on Facebook. And the headline was, "I'm not a fitness model. I'm a mother of 2. And I want to share with you my way of how I keep in relatively healthy shape." She couldn't have been any more than, she was probably a size 12. She was at home working out in her living room. And I looked at that and I thought, wow, like that is phenomenal marketing, because there will be so many mums out there and so many women out there who, like Ben has said, who don't want to train with me for whatever reason. I'm not actually that scary, but I am aware that I can potentially look quite scary, and I can be quite forthcoming in my words at times, to put it politely. But there are some women who don't want that, and they want a more nurturing approach, in which case training with somebody like, a mum of 2 who stays at home and she's just sharing, she's probably got now qualifications behind her, but she's sharing her methods and her ways of her fitness program, and some women will resonate with that so much. And Kat, be the vegan girl who people go to start to learn to love their bodies, because I'm sure there are lots of vegans out there who turn vegan or vegetarian for whatever reason. And I can tell you now, the number one reason, aside from animal cruelty, the second reason would be potentially that they're looking to feel better in their own skin. So use what you have and market it well. Be proud of the fact you're a vegan. All right, it's not for all of us, and a day without a steak does scare me. But if you're a vegan, be proud of that and advertise that. And you don't have to train. You're not going to be training, steak eating fitness models. You're not going to be training guys for the cover of Men's Health. You're going to be training women who are just like you. So be proud of that, and that is a niche area, and it's something to market towards. Being a size 12 and loving your body, then that's great. Advertise that, because that's the type of people, like I said, that you're going to attract. And essentially, above all, I wonder what would happen if you stopped worrying and wasting time on the what ifs. Like, what would happen if you actually used that time that you spent worrying and focused it on, well, what can I be and what sort of a life can I create? And I guess that's where I want to change the mindset here, Kat, is for you, start planning and creating things and stop worrying, what if?
Definitely. Now, in a different way, I was going to challenge Kat, and this is why I don't think Kat's ready with some of her mindset stuff. Now, Kat is a marketer, and I challenge Kat from the fact that she's one of two things: a bad marketer, because she can't see all the niche things that she is. I'm a vegan. I love to just do this. I love to make people. This is all perfectly niche stuff which people in marketing teach us all the time. Or you're being defeatist from the fact that you're looking at all this stuff as a negative, which tells me that mentally you're not ready to forgo this journey yet. You need to keep working on your your mindset, how you cultivate positivity, how you say to yourself, yes, I am capable, and I'm capable because I believe in these factors that are positive and can make me succeed in this area. Because if I was a marketer and I was sitting down with you and I was going, well, the vegan market's a great market. The vegan market is a very passionate market. Like, if you try and argue with a vegan, they're going to take you down and beat you to death with celery. Like, they're very passionate about what they do and believe in. So actually, you're going into a movement that, if you're seen in the right way, you could turn into, I won't say an overnight success, but people will latch on to what you do because you're so marketable in a way. Where I'm a bit more, we'll call it in the mainstream. Actually, it makes it a little bit harder for me to market myself because I'm trying to appeal to an awful lot of people with my work. So I think you are extremely marketable, but you have to you have to keep working on how you see yourself, how you channel your mindset. And actually, part of me thinks that if you keep doing this and you actually look at your business as a freelance marketer, whether you go into fitness or not, I actually think you could get a bit of a reignition in your own current career. Because I know a lot about marketing just through being in business, being a business owner, and having to grow my own brand. I think I could happily have a very nice, happy, successful career in marketing if I did move into it, purely because I think I would channel my energy and work with the people that I want to work with. And because essentially marketing, you're turning people into success. You're showing people how to go from a low point to a higher point. Yes, to achieve more financial revenue, but also to benefit people's lives. Like, let's say, for example, in your industry, you decided to only work with health and fitness companies, or companies that were now starting to make a difference and add value to people's lives. There's a huge amount of companies trying to break into the mainstream that I know of in the moment that, yes, are businesses, but yes, are doing great things for other people's lives. They've created a product that is of value. They've created a food that is of benefit or has value, or is creating charitable donation, or just creating something. You could decide to yourself, well, actually, if I rechannel my energy into health and fitness, this could help me kind of satisfy that health and fitness bug, but also apply something I'm actually very knowledgeable at and can keep creating a very good income.
I reckon you've absolutely hit the nail on the head there, and it's something I kind of, as I was reading it out, I wanted to mention, is that you can stay as a marketer and specialize, and you can kind of get your kicks from the health and fitness industry that way, because actually, to be a very specialized marketer, and like Ben, like I know a lot about marketing, having run my own business for the past 10 years, but to be very good at marketing, you have to know the area in which you are working in. It's like being a journalist, like a health and fitness journalist. You ask a health and fitness journalist about nutrition or anything training related, they're like an encyclopedia most of the time. Okay, they might not necessarily be able to apply the knowledge in a coaching sense, but they've got the knowledge and they can certainly talk about it. And in order to market effectively, you don't necessarily have to be marketing your own business. You could be marketing somebody else's and using the knowledge that you gained in health and fitness in order to be able to do that.
See, whatever career you're in, whatever you do on a day-to-day basis, whether you're a PT, a marketer, a salesman, a checkout person, whatever, if you channel yourself, your energy, the way you look at your job in a different way, you can change so much of what you do on a daily basis. Like, I have to do what a lot of people would see as some boring stuff on my day-to-day, like emails are boring. But I don't sit down to my email and go, oh, I've got to do my emails, they're really boring. I channel my energy to say, right, what is the action that my email is doing? If I go into this email now and reply to, for example, I was talking to James Haskell this morning about doing something later in the year. Now, I don't look at that email to say, oh, I've got to sit down and do this email. I look at it as a chance to talk to James again. I haven't spoken to him for a little while. Talk to James again. Maybe build something in 2016. Have a little chat. Catch up with a friend, etc. I don't see that. If I look at another email, I'm like, this is a chance to progress this project. This is a chance to help this person. So I just rewire things. And every time you do an action on a daily basis, it can be negative, it can be positive, it can be neutral. But it's the way you package the situation to yourself in your brain. It's like fitness. I've got to go and do a run. I've got to go and do a run because I've got to keep fit. That's not really very positive. I'm going to go out and go for a run because I want to be fit. I am that fit person. Running makes me feel good. It makes me feel keep in shape. The way you package things is absolutely everything.
I have nothing further to add.
Right, in that case, we'll leave. Thank you very much for listening today, everyone. I know it's a slightly different change of pace, and for anyone that is we'll call you part of the general public, that not in the fitness industry and have got through to the end of this show, then thank you. That means you're the people that really value and pay attention to our work, and hopefully there's been a pearl of wisdom for everyone in this show. If you want to check out Rachel's work, she does an awful lot of amazing work in the fitness industry, then just Google that crazy girl, Rachel Guy. Google Athletic Fox. She's on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. She is everywhere. You can look at her work and what she does. If you want to find out more about me, you know where I am. I know I've mentioned the Academy today, which is my online nutrition course, which I believe is head and shoulders above anything that's out there. The easiest way to check it out is go to bodytypenutrition.co.uk or text the word Academy to 67076. Next week's guest is Dan Highcock. I will leave it there. I won't say anything. I'm not going to preempt the show. It's going to be very interesting ahead of the Rio 2016 Olympics. But anyway, I will leave that there. Rachel, thank you very much for being an amazing guest as ever.
Thanks, Benny, for having me.
Thank you for listening to the show. Go out today, do some good in the world. It's 2016, it's January. Let's all achieve some really cool shit. Sit down, rewire your goals, do great things, apply greatness to your life, and we will see you on the next week's show. Ciao.
Ciao.
Hey everyone, Coomber Radio, episode number 170. Now this episode is actually going out on New Year's Eve, so Happy New Year if you're listening to this in 2016. Now we're now 170 episodes in, and to my recollection we have never once talked about the fight world.